Pete Hegseth secures Senate confirmation as Defense Secretary. Despite GOP resistance, Pete Hegseth narrowly cleared his Senate confirmation on Friday to become the new Secretary of Defense, but it wasn't thanks to Republican Senators Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, or Susan Collins. These long-serving, establishment-aligned senators expressed reservations about Hegseth's qualifications, citing what they described as insufficient experience to oversee one of the most complex institutions in the world. In a statement on social media, Murkowski noted, "The Department of Defense demands extensive expertise, and Mr. Hegseth's career history doesn't instill confidence that he's ready for such a significant responsibility." Critics like Murkowski appear to overlook Hegseth's credentials. A Princeton and Harvard graduate, he served over a decade in the U.S. Army Infantry, achieving the rank of major and completing tours in Afghanistan. In addition, Hegseth is an accomplished author and a veteran advocate, having led organizations dedicated to supporting military personnel. But his detractors focus on one perceived flaw: the absence of a corporate defense background. Unlike previous Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who seamlessly transitioned from the military into roles with legislative bodies, the Chamber of Commerce, and defense giant Raytheon, Hegseth has not spent time in the revolving door of government and private industry. Esper, confirmed in 2019 with overwhelming bipartisan support, embodied the polished, establishment-friendly resume that figures like McConnell, Murkowski, and Collins value. Yet critics argue that his career trajectory came at a cost, turning a blind eye to the growing influence of woke corporate policies and diversity initiatives in the defense sector. For instance, Raytheon's diversity chief once emphasized that DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, was integral to the company's goals and social strategy. While Esper may not have actively endorsed these trends, his tenure didn't disrupt their proliferation, reflecting what some see as a broader complacency within establishment Republican ranks. This reluctance to challenge progressive narratives, critics say, is a hallmark of the old Republican Guard. Leaders hesitant to confront cultural shifts for fear of political backlash. In contrast, Hegseth represents a break from this approach. During his confirmation hearings, he criticized the left's ideological influence over military policies, vowing to prioritize merit and operational effectiveness over politically driven initiatives. Hegseth's detractors see his lack of corporate experience as a liability. Supporters, however, argue that this very absence makes him uniquely suited to disrupt entrenched practices and refocus the military on its core mission, maintaining strength and readiness. Hegseth's critics on both sides of the aisle may question his preparedness, but his backers believe that the American people voted for a leader like him when they chose Donald Trump. His appointment reflects a broader desire to restore merit and fairness in institutions increasingly criticized for prioritizing political correctness over competence. Time will tell whether Hegseth can deliver on these promises. If he stumbles, his critics will undoubtedly remind us. But for now, his confirmation signals a shift toward challenging the status quo at the Pentagon, a change that many believe is long overdue.